It is this morning on ITV, the first talking point. We'll be looking at the implication of Pandora Papers on war against graft. And to do this, I have with me an anti-corruption activist, Comrade Kabir Matazu. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. So the Pandora Papers is here, and of course it has stayed. Revealing to us activities, secret activities, so to speak, of some very valuable persons in this country. You know, those high and mighty attack the valuable persons. So, when you look at it vis-a-vis war against anti-corruption in Nigeria, not particularly that of President Muhammadu Buhari. War against corruption has been here for a long time. Even when we have a new administration come on board in 2023, you are still going to see war against corruption in their mantra. So what are your thoughts?
Thank you very much for inviting me to discuss about one of the most topical and burning contemporary issue in our country. For about a month now, the media has been awash with some of the leaks from the Pandora Papers. And as you have rightly asked, the implication of the war against graft and the exposure of these Pandora Papers. Before the Pandora Papers, there were Panama Papers, the Paradise Papers, which has implicated and indicted so many high, powerful people in our country, Nigeria. So you see, corruption is basically a cancer that needs to be eliminated if a society, a country must make any meaningful progress. And these Pandora Papers has exposed high level corruption, the kind of shadow economy where people loot the resources of their own country, hide it in offshore tax havens, where so most of those people implicated in the Pandora Papers, you find out that they are politicians, those that have been in politics before, those that have held one political office or the other. And this goes to show that even though the major reason why President Buhari was elected into government was issues of security and fighting corruption and the issue of the economy, you look at that, in spite of the fact that some appreciable progress have been made in the area of fighting corruption, but still, yet, people must find a way to hide illicit wealth to ensure that the government did not. So this kind of exposure by international consortium of investigative journalists will help in no small measure in ensuring that those implicated in the Pandora Papers are properly investigated and prosecuted according to the law of the land.
Yeah, we have seen that of Panama, and during that time when Panama was in vogue, we saw that the former governor of Kwara State and of course the former Senate President Bukola Saraki, his name and that of the wife appeared there, and what what is in trillions, and nothing happened. No agency, no anti-corruption agency as far as Nigeria is concerned took that up, and none also in, of course, overseas took that up. But that of the Pandora, do you think it will be different from the Panama? Because it's one thing to make an investigation, make it known, publish it, and it's another thing for the anti-graft agency to, get hold of that and run with it.
Yes, thank you for asking this question. You see, sometimes some political interests do come into play in this kind of things. They will come and twist stories, especially the media. Some people manipulate the media to do their biddings.
No, the media is never manipulated.
No, the
media publish what it gets.
Yes.
If you have a superior information, you give to the media. They also
as you have
publish.
cited example, some big names were mentioned in the Panama Papers and the Paradise Papers, and unfortunately, up to now, 4 to 5 years after, nothing has been done about it. This to tell you that some of those people were actually innocent of the accusation. Maybe it's the sensationalism of the media by some political undertone. Let me give you one specific example. In the exposure of these Pandora Papers, there is a man whose name was mentioned, and all over the country the media carries headlines. But when you dig deep, you will discover that he has committed no wrong, he has violated no law as far as the country, as far as Nigerian law is concerned. That person is the current acting MD of the Nigeria Sport Authority. If at all, as Premium Times have claimed, that their journalists were part of the people that unearthed these Pandora Papers, in which many high-profile Nigerians were implicated, they should have dig a little bit deeper, because the essence of journalism is to balance facts and present facts as they are, not to sensationalize in order to create an appearance of a kind of corrupt practice, while in reality there is none perpetrated or committed. So when you look at specifically the acting MD was implicated, but looking at what happened, if they have asked the right question, they will have gotten the right answers. His name shouldn't have been even published, because there is nothing wrong in investing in tax-friendly nations, because even some Europeans do invest in Nigeria here, Lebanese and others. But the major point here is some people, some political detractors who are against some of the reform policies that the man is introducing at MPA were trying to use this Pandora issue to get back at him. If you, as we all know, the suspended MD was suspended because of corruption. If at all that man has done anything wrong, he wouldn't have been considered to carry on as the acting MD. And at the same time, he will have been implicated in some of the shady deals that has been done in the MPA by the past administration. So sometimes, some people, his name will appear, but when you dig deep, the facts will appear as it is. So now, the facts.
So you are saying the name of the acting
MD of NPA
was appeared wrongly?
Yes.
So that means you do not believe in the credibility of Pandora.
The central issue here is
let's get it clear. War against corruption.
Yes.
There are many papers, international papers,
yes,
by consortium of journalists.
Yes.
They dig about somebody, dig deep with fact and publish.
Yes.
And they are ready to be corrected. Should any of those names come and say, what you have about me is false, they are open for you to give them what the true picture is. Pandora is also here. You believe in that credibility or in the credibility of Pandora to dig deep by its investigative journalists and then make publication, right?
Yes,
So, but how come you do not believe that what is written against the MD or the acting MD of Port Authority is not correct.
You see, in as much as I believe that the journalists across the world have done a very commendable job, however, when you look at some of our journalists here in Nigeria, especially the Premium Times paper, they have become somewhat, what
No,
I don't want to attack their credibility per se, but
comrade,
yes,
you know that I'm a journalist.
Exactly.
You understand? Well. And we have our sister stations and of course our colleagues spread, right? If there's anything about any medium, you know that I will not allow you to malign any medium here.
Yes.
Right? If there's anything written, is for that person to look for a legal method or measures to address that.
So basically, let me say this: I don't want to mention the name of a medium.
So that medium is not the medium that investigated the person what we are talking about. They go, like, we can also publish it. If we have Pandora papers that has the name of certain persons that have hidden money in safe haven and Nigerians don't know, if we have them, we can run with it. Do it and then call on relevant anti-corruption agency, the EFCC, ICPC Code of Conduct, to go and check the man based on what is written, right? So it's what we are saying.
Yes. When an information is put forward, in as much as I believe a good job has been done, but however, there are some mistakes, even if it's not intentionally, even if not intended, but some of the information are unverified and they are unfortunately malicious. When you look at this man has a record that
you cannot be speaking for this man.
I'm not speaking for him per
se,
but I'm trying to set the record straight.
Speak for himself.
You know something?
The man,
you know.
See, let me tell you how these things are done. This man will take nothing from him to fly from wherever he is to ITV and tell us what he knows.
No, of course I'm not speaking for him. But when, you know, it was Joseph Goebbels, the Hitler propagandist minister, who once said that when a lie is being said and it goes unchallenged, it will become the dominant narrative and escape as the truth. Because many people will not want to dig deep beyond what is put forward before them.
So who should challenge that lie?
No, you ask a question, for example, that so many high-profile persons' names were mentioned in the Panama and Paradise papers, and up to now, nothing has been done.
And they don't challenge it.
It's because the institution that has the mandate to do the job, to ensure that to investigate any individual that is implicated in any corrupt practices is brought to book, have done their job and have seen that the news might not have been true. In this country, we like to see so many things happening. So I'm citing one example from the Pandora. There are many politicians, there are many, but I'm citing a specific example to you because some of those reports might have political undertone in order to malign a particular individual, to attack his integrity, or maybe he's aspiring for a higher office. So the only way, if we put him into this, then we can get him out of the way so that business as usual can return to where the person is heading. So I'm not speaking for him, I'm not defending him, because he has the capacity to defend himself anywhere, anytime. And I'm sure, just like the EFCC
do you know that? Do you know the former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi's name has appeared in Pandora?
Yes, yes.
And nothing was said about it.
You see, the former, the EFCC chairman, just a few weeks ago, stated that some of these things that were reported are in many countries where offshores, where people on marks their distant hidden wealth, some suspicious, illicit financial wealth, that it will take time to establish a case.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just by mere reportage. When you report, then the journalists have done their job. Then the agency
needs to now investigate.
Will now investigate
so
and critically look at it.
How long will it take for an agency of that magnitude to investigate issue? Because the Pandora papers clearly describe where these things are kept. Yes. So it's for me, it's the job has even been done for some of our agencies.
They have to do their own independent findings first before they can go ahead and, because you see, when a government bring an individual, they want to prosecute him, let's say for corrupt practice, the government is spending money to hire a lawyer to take the person to court.
It's not for free.
Of course.
And there's allocation for that.
Yes. So a case that has no locus standi or prima facie, will you prosecute it when you know at the end of the day the facts are not available?
So now, in your own thinking, should Nigeria discard information from Pandora papers?
No, they should investigate.
They should investigate.
It should be investigated thoroughly. Those that are innocent will come out free. Those that have found to have mismanaged public fund and hid it elsewhere should be diligently prosecuted. They should have their days in court.
So like you said, the EFCC has told you that they need to, it requires time to do investigation. And I said it doesn't require more time. If it's difficult, you get the journalist concerned. Tell us how you get this information, and then it's straight.
This is something that the EFCC chairman said it himself on national TV. I watch it on Channels Television. That's what I'm saying. I'm quoting him verbatim. That he said it will take time so that it will take time for them to do their own investigation, so that they arrive at a particular stage where they can begin to invite all these people that their names appeared. I believe some of them will clear themselves.
So it means that the corruption has come to stay?
No.
Because if it takes time to actually carry out an investigation, you may not be able to conclude your investigation before the next admission comes and you're out of the office.
You see, administration
it means corruption can never be won.
Sometimes it's not just by you just pick something that has just been reported and begin to act on it without doing your homework. You have to do your own homework to ascertain the veracity of the information that has been supplied. Because if you say you should just jump pack and carry everybody and go and lock him out to prove he's innocent, you might end up hurting innocent people. Some of this information are not absolute. Some of them may be true, some of them may be not. Some individuals may be wrongly implicated. Some might not have even the knowledge of the existence of the so-called properties that is reported that they have acquired. And some of these things, especially many people do it anonymously. Some of them may not be found. Some of them may be found. So the EFCC itself needs to do its own diligent work to ensure that at the end of the day they secured a conviction. Because the most important part of the war against corruption is to ensure that those who have perpetrated acts of corrupt practice are punished in accordance with the law. So a situation whereby, for example, let me give you another example. This man from Lagos, Bode George, you know, he once served at the board of the Nigerian Sport Authority, and there were reports of contract splittings and other things. Do you know that the court jailed that man and sentenced him to about how many years in prison? He went after serving his jail time. After he went back home, after serving his jail time as a convict, the Supreme Court cleared him of any wrongdoing. So you see this, a situation whereby the Anti-Graft agency did not do its own diligent job. They just haphazardly secured a conviction. And I don't know what happened. He was discharged and acquitted. So you see, you have hurt an innocent man. Even if he's not innocent, you have not done a proper job before taking him to court. If you have done your job properly, the moment you take him to court, you easily secure conviction up to Supreme Court. That's what we want. Because only when this kind of thing is done can corruption be eliminated in our society, even if it's not eliminated, but it can be reduced to a barest minimum.
Mm-hmm. So what do you recommend now for this Pandora? Should Anti-Graft agency work with it, or just leave it at the altar of somebody trying to get at someone?
They should work with it, because by looking into it, they will understand the ones that have political undertone and the other people who have violated the laws of our country. And one central issue we need to even understand, that the only people that are prohibited from directing and doing businesses are public office holders.
Except
while
farming.
in office,
Except
the
farming.
only thing acceptable is farming. So if people that have acquired properties were not in public office, they have acquired properties invested elsewhere, and after coming to public office, they resign from maybe the incorporations or the companies they have set up in offshores, and they have duly declared all their assets with the Code of Conduct Bureau, so they have not done anything wrong. And there is no law that can even say that they should come and answer any question, because all that needs to be done is to empower the Code of Conduct Bureau, so that public office holders, their asset declaration form can be made public.
What kind of empowerment do you want besides what the law has created for them?
The Code of Conduct Bureau need proper funding to do a better job, and they shouldn't allow a situation whereby public office holders conceal some of the assets they have, because
so
they ought to declare it. After declaring it, the Code of Conduct Bureau should make it public, so that anybody that has any counter information or counter can come forward and say, no, so person has so property here. If he say he's not the owner, then the federal government should confiscate it. They should be empowered, and a law should even come into play to ensure that this CCB is empowered, given the necessary financial resources and given the necessary legal backing, to ensure that they go extra mile to prevent public office holders from corruptly enriching themselves and hiding it in tax havens country.
Yeah, I think the last case that the Code of Conduct Bureau investigated and, of course, charged to the CCB, Code of Conduct Bureau, for prosecution was the former Chief Judge of Nigeria, Walter Onogen, and since then we've not had any other case or investigation from CCB. So if you are suggesting that it should be empowered and given the legal backing, it means that they're not doing their job.
Actually, they are not doing their job to the satisfaction of Nigerians.
So why don't you suggest that agency be scrapped?
No, why? It shouldn't be scrapped.
Because they're not doing their job.
No, they need to be repositioned.
In what way now?
They need to be repositioned in such a way that they are given all the necessary legal backing they need.
They have all of that.
They need
they're not complaining.
Another thing they need is resources to ensure that they go round.
They have all the resources you think of.
No. I don't think so.
No, they have.
No, they are weak.
If they don't have, Nigerians will know that they don't have resources.
If at all they have, some of these Pandora papers that are coming out, they will have been aware of it. They will have known that some so-so person who is a governor in so-so state is opening a company in so-so place and is channeling resources there. They should have known. So a lot of reforms need to be done, in as much as we want the war against corruption to succeed in this country.
What about ICPC? It's also part of the anti-graft agencies we have.
Yes.
They are also not working with the outcome from the Pandora papers. It means they're not doing their job.
No, as I have told you, they need to do a diligent job. They don't just jump into something just like that, just because you know, on many occasions, there will be a report, and after some time, the facts come forward, which is incontrovertible. Even the media houses sometimes do apologize for the misleading information they send to the public. So the anti-graft agency must do a proper job before they can be able to prosecute individuals. As I've told you, so many people got away with corrupt practices because the anti-graft agencies failed to do its homework.
They accuse them wrongly in the first place.
No, and the new chairman of EFCC and the ICPC, I think they are learning from such mistakes. And at the same time, some people can be accused wrongly based on misleading information which has political undertones and some connotations.
It may not be, it may not be political undertone.
No, see,
it may not be.
You see, Aristotle has rightly stated that man by nature is political animal. In this our society, especially democratic society, where there is contest, struggle for powers, peace, and other things, you cannot rule out a possibility of people using some people to get back at some people. So, and that's what we are saying, that the facts must be set straight and the counter fact must be presented. And the media is such an opportunity for some of those counter facts to be presented so that the fact can be balanced. Like I've told you, an individual who incorporated company, who is working in a private organization, has never been to public office, he has not violated any law as far as Nigerian law is concerned. Of course, everybody want to make profit, to live, to have an easy life, to have a place where to secure a property where, you know, when you want to sell it, you make some profits. You know, you do such kind of investment. Even Senator Dine Melaye, he was boasting that during the financial economic meltdown, he bought license, or what did they call it, McDonald's, and he has been making profit from it. So you see, there's nothing wrong with that. But a situation whereby some people are being used to create an appearance which is far from reality, that's what we are totally against. As an anti-corruption crusader, I am happy, and I happily welcome the Pandora people. But the facts must be set straight so that innocent individuals will not be railroaded, will not be victimized for no just reason.
Comrade Kabir Motazu, I must thank you for your time on the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You know, the way it is now, Pandora papers have come to stay. Anyone that found his or her name there, I really need to do some cleansing, some talk with the media. Those that refuse to talk, it means the outcome of that investigation is actually on point, actually correct, and that is why you are keeping quiet. Okay, this is the much we have on this discussion segment with Comrade Kabir Motazu. He's an anti-corruption crusader. Take a quick break. When we come back, the program continues.